Mr. Shetty, appreciate you giving us your time today on ET Now. So to start with, so this chapter has closed, at least right now. What will be the next step now for Allcargo? Will both the companies, just continue remaining listed? What's the way forward?
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much for having me today. And yes, of course, as you said, the delisting process is now over. And we are now obviously going to remain public. And as you know, that the company's stock has done quite well from the time when we launched the process where the price was at 65 rupees, which is now in the region of about 230 rupees. And, at that value, we obviously couldn't have raised any funds that may be required for the future growth of the company. Keeping that in mind, we had, in any case, most of our large business is outside India. So in a way, we were not being valued accurately. That was one thought process. And as we needed funds, otherwise, what's the point remaining listed, right? So that's the way we thought about it at that time. And now, the price having gone so much, I think it's a good time for us to continue to remain in the market and continue with our growth aspirations and continue to manage the company well and create value for shareholders and all the other stakeholders.
I mean, I think the shareholders as well believe in your potential to do that, so they wanted to get a piece of that pie too, and hence perhaps do not want you to delist. So, sir, in this last 1 year, the one thing we've been hearing about from companies that we speak with is that cost of transportation has increased dramatically. Shipping costs, of course, we know what's been happening, but I think other, modes of transportation as well have increased quite a bit in costs. On ground, what have you been seeing? And for Allcargo Logistics, what's been the impact of this surge in transportation costs in general?
I don't think the picture is correct because ocean freight, of course, has gone up quite substantially. And the domestic transportation rates have gone up on the basis of the fuel rate hike that we have seen in India. I don't agree that the transportation cost on the ground or the handling cost has gone up. But ocean freight, of course, is gone up significantly because of various reasons, which everybody knows. And I think the ocean freight levels are likely to remain at a higher level in the coming few quarters. And as a company, Allcargo has done quite well in FY21. And also in FY22 so far, the company is doing well. Our acquisition of Gati has done quite remarkably in terms of the company coming back on track with all the right management team. The sales acceleration project that we have undertaken, we have grown over 25% in our volumes. In spite of the pandemic, we are looking actively on getting into the e-commerce business more actively. Our contract logistics business has done exceedingly well. We have acquired the balance shares of our shareholder. Now we are 100% owner of the contract logistics business. Our CFS business is slightly sluggish as the imports are a bit struggling, as all of you know, because of the ocean space not being available. Our global business has done very well, and it will continue to do well as ocean freights are high. So that's the update as far as the company is concerned.
I'm trying to understand the thought here. While you've decided not to delist Allcargo, you've also acquired Gati. That's a listed company. So what are the plans there? I mean, would you keep Gati also listed?
Yeah, Gati has always been a listed company for several years. And there is a larger float with Gati in the market. We have no plans to delist that company whatsoever. And we will continue to have two listed companies. And we'll see what are the kind of restructuring options we have going forward to create a better value for Allcargo in the future, now that the company is not going for delisting.
Allcargo becoming more like an holding company where you are interested in acquiring new businesses, you've acquired Gati, and then it had an operating business. I mean, will this be the holding company of the group now?
Allcargo has always have two models, right? It has got subsidiaries, which does specialized businesses. that helps us to build that management and that focus to run those businesses and grow those businesses. Allcargo also has the container freight station and inland container depot business, and that business will always remain in Allcargo in the foreseeable future. The equipment and the project business was also in Allcargo itself. So Allcargo is not a listed company, but Allcargo is an operating company with large subsidiaries, with a very focused management teams dedicated to run those businesses. And Allcargo obviously has the funds, and it is the one which has initiated the entire journey on the logistics transportation business. It kept growing into multiple business models, and each one of them need a very different focus and very different kind of a management team, and the systems and processes, and the ecosystem is also very different. So we have to keep them to some extent independently, while Allcargo is a operating company, and it will remain an operating company. Yeah.
Would you be looking at also creating models which today are very big because of what is happening in the online retail space, more like a delivery, or perhaps other companies which in a sense have managed to create platform companies? Would you be considering something on those lines?
Yes, we have discussed this number of times that our focus is to adopt technology in the organization. Companies, the new age companies, what you mentioned, they built a technology platform and employed a whole lot of young people and created a business model to disintermediate intermediaries. That is the way they've gone about it, without any assets, right? So if you look at, for example, Gati and our EQ Worldwide business, it is a business where we have no asset, and we manage the entire services of logistics requirement in the country and internationally. Whereas the new age companies, they employ people, and they do what we were doing 25 years ago, right? So we have built the foot on the ground, and they are building the foot on the ground with the technology being in the front. So for what we have to do is we have to build the technology and integrate the technology into the existing organization so that we are able to compete with them. We are able to grow in all the opportunities that exist from time to time. Right now, e-commerce is one of the major opportunity for all the logistic companies. Everybody understands that. And if you look at Allcargo's presence, the group's presence is already in contract logistics, already in express, already in e-commerce, and is a full-scale end-to-end global player. Yes, we are adopting technology in a big way. We're investing a lot of money in that and hiring a lot of people to help us go through that process. E-commerce is definitely going to be the focus in our agenda in the coming months and years to come.
I'm just trying to understand the PLI scheme, which I'm sure will be a big impact on the export business. India's exports have not grown except in last 6-8 months. Our merchandise exports are at $340 billion, which is not a very impressive number. If I compare that, Apple itself exports about $300 billion from China. How large do you think that would be for your container business, for your freight cargo business? Are you investing in that already, thinking that next 2-3 years the demand on merchandise export could surprise us?
Yeah, we do not really have to invest in that area because, as I said, ours is the asset-light model, highly scalable model. We need to employ a lot more people in India and internationally for us to scale up. And it's a very large business already. Talking particularly about India, yes, the manufacturing, I think India has the greatest opportunity for China Plus One model, which the world is looking at. And I think the government is taking all the necessary steps, and government is on the fast track to attract foreign investment and build robust infrastructure for manufacturing to be facilitated in our country. And we are very bullish on that. And I believe the India exports will continue to rise in the coming years and months and years to come.
Your time today. Once again, thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you very much.